Going live.
Let's do this.
Hello, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another NerdTube Star Trek episode review. We're here today talking about Prodigy Season 2, episodes 19 and 20. Hey, Riker.
He is
Oroboros.
wanting attention today.
Well, he deserves all the attention. But like I said, it's Prodigy episode 20 and 19, Oroboros. It's the season finale. And what a finale. We can just hop right. I'm going to introduce these gentlemen. Then we'll hop into some general impressions. To my right, we have Zam. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. I had something cliche to say, but I forgot.
That happens at our age.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the truth. And below is Cousin Cheeto. How are you, sir?
Pleasure to be the power bottom today.
Always a pleasure.
Also, Daniel Vance saying warp in 5, 6, or warp in 5, 6, 7. So like, is it like warp in 5, 6, 7, 8, like jazz, or is it like warp 5, warp 6, warp 7, warp 8, warp 9, warp 9.2, warp 9.4? You know, like in the voyage home.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Vance did make a comment about in our area there is a huge fire. That is why Lord Donkey is not here today. So hopefully everybody in that area is, including my parents, is getting evacuated. And yeah, it's a pretty big, nasty fire. So, but anyway, back to you, Mage.
Yeah, hopefully everybody's safe. Thoughts with the people. So yeah, we big episodes, lots happened. Want to start with some overall impressions? How about you, Zam?
Well, I'm very happy to know that there were two Essenzias because it was bugging me for a while. But
we
eventually,
have them in the same place.
Yeah, we eventually that was resolved. I did think episode 19 had so many elements of other films and other tropes. I probably won't remember them all now, but I was thinking to myself, "Oh, that reminds me of that, and that reminds me of that." The music sounds a bit Lord of the Ringsy, all of these sort of things. But regardless, it was a really good send off for that, and what episode 20 offered as well was great, and a nice, decently long epilogue that led us into season 3 as well, which was really what I wanted, and I'm glad we got that as well.
Yeah, definitely. They kind of wrapped up everything, answered, all of our questions, and we are set up for season 3. So hopefully that does go ahead as planned. Cousin Cheeto.
It was very good season finale. Wrapped up, as you guys said, wrapped up everything nice in a pretty package, and it did set up season 3. I don't necessarily like where they left us for season 3. I think the whole. I did love the crossover elements. I love the fact that they incorporated the synth revolution, the attack on Mars, and Utopia Planitia. I loved all that. I didn't like the fact that they left us on a. Oh, by the way, we're doing the what is not the Defiant. What was the Avenger? What was the ship where the cadets were on?
Protostar.
No,
Prodigy. They named it. It's
no. The one in DS9 where all the cadets were on a Defiant class vessel. What was that?
Oh.
I don't remember what the ship was called.
No, I don't even know.
But there was a bunch of cadets just on a ship in the middle of the war zone, and they were on a whatever training cruise or something like that on a Defiant class vessel. I don't like that idea, and I just don't. I'm sure it'll be fine. It didn't hurt me too much, but everything else about this season finale was great. I actually really enjoyed. They didn't walk Dal's character build back. They actually strengthened it even more, which I was very happy about. They really strengthened Jankum's character and Gwen's character at the end. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of good stuff to talk about in this. I didn't take notes like I should have. So as Mage brings things up, because he's our note guy. I'll probably recall some things, but no, very good.
No, it's definitely good to see them double down on the character growth for Dal and keep going in that direction. And I'm looking forward to having Gwen in command. I think that she's really proven herself over the course of this season, and that she'll bring a lot to that chair.
Yeah, it's weird because she's captaining the ship, but she's not the captain as in rank. She's just in charge.
Just an acting captain.
But they're all ensigns at the end of the day, which is something which I also I'm really happy that we got. Get out of those. We're getting into season 3 now. We need to see progression for our characters.
Yeah, but they didn't even go through Starfleet Academy. Like that, I get it. They have field commissions as ensigns, but like, you get a field commission when you're like thrown into like a situation where you need it, kind of like being flung into the Delta Quadrant. That is a position where you can, give people field positions. But just skipping the whole Starfleet Academy route is like, and granted, I didn't want this to become a Starfleet Academy show, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, so we're Captain Kirking it. And actually, technically, Kirk went through most of Starfleet Academy. I think there should have been a time skip. I think there should have been a 3-year time skip. They should have gone through Starfleet Academy, and then they were all coming back together, and then the synth attack happened. Although I don't even know if the years line up. I haven't looked it up. And then I think that then they should have maybe had this ensign cruise or something like that, and something happens along the way. But
didn't we get them learning at the beginning of this season? Like they were already in Starfleet Academy and they were apart from each other, and they seemed to have spent some time studying.
Yeah, but they were in prep classes.
Yeah, they were in prep classes. They weren't even in the academy yet. They were Academy hopefuls still. That's what they kept on calling them. Now, was Majel? She was not a cadet though, right? Or was she?
She was a cadet.
I can't. Well, maybe. Okay.
And she's now part of the main crew as well. So,
as I said, logistically, I get where you're saying. Like you're happy this is where it is because of the way the show is, but logistically it makes no sense. That's as I said with Kirk doing the Enterprise at the end of the Kelvin movies. Logistically, it makes no sense to me.
Fair enough. Well, Rick B said it sucked in his opinion, but he watched it though, didn't he, Rick B? And you'll watch everything else that Alex Kurtzman has to offer. You'll eat it up and you'll consume it, and whether you shit it out or regurgitate it, you'll fucking take it like a man.
Yep. Also, Daniel Vance pointing out the fact that by the end, they're all the same rank as Carrie Kim. I'm guessing that's a typo, but we might just start calling him Carrie Kim from now on.
I like it.
I had to look at the keyboard to see where the K and the H is, and there's a J in between them. But regardless, it could be a typo.
And he says, I don't know if you brought this up, Zam, or not. I was looking at
you brought it up, actually.
You already brought it up?
No, you brought it up.
Oh, no. I meant like if you had already brought it up. Sorry. I wasn't expecting the Mars attacks. I had to check how many episodes were left when that happened. I wasn't expecting. I mean, I know they mentioned the Romulan evacuation. And as I said, I'm very happy with the way they did that whole thing. That thing was really cool. I really thought, honestly, we might see the cadets kind of move into maybe more like towards the Mars, like the Romulan evacuation next season. We'd see more of that before the synth attack, on Utopia Planitia. Maybe they would go to Romulus and help. I don't know, something like that. And, that would have been more of a way, but I think they did a really good job with incorporating that crossover element into the show, because Utopia Planitia attack is a pretty significant event in Star Trek. I don't think people should underplay it.
The synth attack. This was something that was that had already happened when we were in Picard season 2.
It happened prior to Picard season 1. Yeah, Picard it happened years before. Yeah, it happened years before Picard season 1.
But it was we only first found out about it in Picard season 2. Is that correct?
No, it was
season 1 of Picard.
Season 1.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it season 1 of Picard? Mm-hmm. Oh, but I'm all bloody confused now. I forget which one's which. Fair enough. Okay.
It's okay. We all kind of sometimes wish to forget Picard season 1.
Yeah. I just want to say regarding episode 19, as I said, that episode had many elements that reminded me of certain things. We had General Grievous come back, which was a bit of some Star Warsy elements. Like there was almost like some sort of Sith Jedi vibes I was getting between Gwen and Essentia when they were fighting, and all of that, dark side and all of that crap. There was a very good Back to the Future moment as well. I'm not sure if you picked up on that. Is that when they're trying to make everything, repair everything and restore everything and try to resolve everything. One moment a cord breaks, and that I got that vibe from Back to the Future.
Oh, I forgot about that.
No, good point. I noticed some Dragon Ball vibes. Even I was gonna crack jokes about it when we got to that point. Gwen got everybody's energy.
Oh, yes.
And so Spirit Bomb style Super Saiyan. She became a Super Solemite.
Dude, I'm sorry, but once again, that was, for me, that was end of Rise of Skywalker when all the Jedi come back and they charge Rey up. That's the vibe I got from that as well. All the Jedi give Rey all the dead Jedi give Rey her power to finish off Emperor Palpatine. That's the sort of thing I was getting from it too.
Oh, God.
I'm not sure if you picked up on it.
I thought this one was handled much better. At least I thought it. I thought it was. Yeah.
Hello, Mr. System. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Yeah, it's definitely that as well.
I gotta pull the chat up.
Oh God, that is so true.
So, yeah, we're kind of.
Well, very happy, Mr. System. Glad that this season is finally over with, to tell you the truth. Not saying I've had an issue with it, but, all good things have to come to an end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's been a good season. Listen, it's for me, and I know, Zam, you were more of a fan of season 1 than I was. I am way on board with this now. I don't like where we left it, but I'm interested to see where it goes. You know what I mean? I'm not shitting on it. I'm just like, it's not what I wanted. And, I mean, that's how all of us nerds are. We all have what we want. And then sometimes that's not necessarily the best thing for the show.
Yeah, it's a bit more family orientated. I think the first one was trying to appeal to the kids. The second one definitely felt more family oriented. And it ties into other things. There's a Cerrito reference earlier on. And we even got like, I think we were all cheering once Wesley met his brother Jack, and all of that, like there's tie-ins to the lore that's been created so far in Trek. So that was nice. I'll tell you what, there's one bit that made me laugh so much. It was just a simple moment where when after everything's concluded, the doctor gives his log and he mentions, "You're finished." And then the patient goes, like that, shits himself, and he goes, "No, not you. You're fine. I meant my
novel." That was great.
Yeah, that was a very doctor moment. The doctor moment, right there.
I laughed. That is probably one of the funniest moments in Star Trek ever for me, because it really made me laugh a lot. I was laughing for a lot after that little scene. I mean, and Star Trek doesn't make me laugh all the time like that. Genuinely like that. That was a good laugh, a very good chuckle. I have giggles, but sometimes that was a chuckle. So yeah.
Very nice.
Man, I don't want to see what happens when Zam gets a belly laugh.
I'm still waiting for that moment. I can't for sometimes like when Data got his emotional chip, I thought there's some forced humor here. I'm not 100% feeling it. Like when he goes, "Oh shit," and all of that sort of stuff. I mean, there was one moment where he was actually scared. I'm thinking to myself, man, you got the power of a god. What the hell are you shitting yourself for? Makes no sense. But there you go.
That's kind of the thing. Fear, or the emotions aren't logical. They're not rational. Yeah. So, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep. This will be a spoilerific review, so glad you don't care about them. Glad to have you here, Mr. System. So we have touched on a lot of stuff already. I'm just trying to get my bearings of where to
Well, and if you want to bring anything up from your notes, I mean, absolutely, you know, I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
I sometimes wish that we, as a group, and not just us three, sorry, but everyone within NerdTube, as well as the people who watch us on YouTube and various social media, could finish each other's sentences as the way they fucking finished each other's sentences when they were figuring out the wormhole problem. You know, when they were analyzing it, because my God, there was a lot of them finishing their sentences for each other throughout that whole fucking scene. It was ridiculous. It really was.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of sciencing happening really quick, or theorizing. And a lot of things seem to happen really quick, but just because they needed to. Like this episode, to me, like tiny gripe. But things like that, thing like Chakotay getting it's like, oh, I've got the numbers. There's the path in, stuff like that. It's just like you're having a conversation. How are you getting the data?
Yeah. And regarding like a hologram Janeway, I felt like Chakotay almost did a disservice, like when he knew they had to put the Protostar away, and then there's hologram Janeway who's pretty sentient, if you know what I mean. Wondering, you know, she's concerned about her being, saying, "What's going to happen to me?" And he goes, "Oh, you'll figure it out." Chakotay just said like that, really like brushed it off after them spending so many years with each other on that deserted planet. You know, and him and her being the only real ally he had. Oh, you'll just figure it out. Fuck you, you know, just go away. It was kind of sad, but then later on they come up with a solution by saying it will make a copy of you, but that's just a copy. That's not you. I'm still going to be gone. You know, I'm still disappearing. I'm still going to have my memory erased, regardless of you making a copy of me. It's like somebody making a clone of me. Well, that clone is still not me. My thoughts are still here, not in that fucking clone, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, it's just like the transporter. I mean,
yeah,
the theory is that the transporter actually kills the person that it beams up, and then it's a whole new person when you beam in. Like, you're not technically yourself anymore because you're being atomized, boiled down into data stream, sent up to the ship, and then when you materialize, you're a completely different person. So the person who is sitting right here, right now, me, if I were to beam, I would be gone. But that new person would never know it because they would have all my memories. But I myself, right here, right now, would be gone forever.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But then again,
murder machines.
But then we had the two Riker situation, didn't we, in the TNG?
Yep, Thomas Riker.
Yeah, as well. So, yeah, there you go. And he is still Riker, but William Riker doesn't know about Thomas Riker because he's not him. He's a different version. So yeah, sorry, go on. I apologize for going on that tangent.
It's okay. But no, the Janeway emergency command hologram version at the end. What did you guys think about that callback to Voyager?
Oh, I thought that was great.
I loved it.
I like it, and they probably need it because you know you're sending a whole bunch of kids to do exploration. And they need somebody at some point who with a bit of authority if shit hits the fan, regardless of them being a hologram.
Yeah, shouldn't the hologram be the captain? Really?
Emergency command hologram. Mind. That's what I was thinking, and then like they put Gwen in the chair. Not that I have a problem with Gwen being in the chair, but as I said, I'm just like, you got this emergency command hologram. If anything, the emergency command hologram should be number 1, and then Gwen should be the captain, and then Dal should be the navigator. Like they've built up this whole season for Dal to be the navigator. You know what I mean? Like, go fast, you know. And they did that.
He should be a pilot for sure.
Yeah, like he should definitely be the pilot.
I personally think that regardless of all of these guys going on the ship, they should have still put somebody in command, like somebody who has actual. Harry Kim would have been absolutely perfect right there.
You know I mean? Ensign Kim with a bunch of ensigns. Yeah, I mean,
well, he was, but by that time he could have been a lieutenant commander,
probably like lieutenant commander, I would say.
So I think that would have been a good choice, you know, in somebody to have actually nobody of authority in charge of these cadets, so who are now just recently become ensigns. I think that's a bit of a stupid move. I think they need to put somebody with experience in charge, and not a hologram either. That would have been good.
Daniel Vance, this is something I was going to bring up. Absolutely adored the Cetacean Ops piloting scene. Yes, that was fantastic. I love that.
I'm sorry.
Navigation by whale.
Hey, I mean, but 3D navigation like that's
I've never
they
been
did
a
it better
fan.
than Lower Decks did. I have to admit, like Lower Decks did Cetacean Ops first, like seen Cetacean Ops first, but Prodigy did it better. Not gonna lie.
I don't know. I've never understood. I don't know, my darling. I never understood the idea of having fucking whales in space.
But basically, they navigate better in 3D environments rather than us, because we mostly navigate in 2D and like 2D straight line, side to side, left to right. But like they
in water,
they think more on a 3D scale, like or 4D scale. I don't know.
No, I get it, but I don't know. It's just not like I don't know. I'm just not like she's fucking chewing on me.
It is silly. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's silly, but it works. Like that. But I get it.
I don't know. I'm just never buying this shit about them having fucking whales in space and stuff. I can't. I genuinely, no. It just doesn't work for me. It never has. It was okay for Sequest DSV when that shit was happening. I preferred it there because it fucking made sense. In this, I find it bollocks. It's bollocks. I'm sorry, but fair enough. It looked cool.
Darwin. Zam is a whale speciest.
Look, I personally think they brought all
now
he's
gonna put his red hood on and his red pillow cushion.
Yeah, and then I have like a little sign with a whale on it and a line going through it.
Yeah, there you go.
Kick it against whales and Cetacean Ops. There we go.
Yeah.
Or just whales in general.
Yeah, exactly. Cetacean Ops. Oh, God, it just makes me want to smack my head against all of these things. That's why I call it masturbation ops. It's just so fucking stupid. It's a wank fest. Hate it. All right, I fucking hate it. I just hate it so much. I can't contain it anymore. I just fucking hate it. All of it. It's just the worst. All right, let's move on.
Episode 19, the whales are stealing bipedal jobs.
That's why Zam doesn't like it. He doesn't like the bipeds getting outed of jobs.
The series of like people staying behind to hold off the enemy during the whole away mission, like just. I think this might be one of those moments where you were getting vibes of a bunch of other stuff, right, Sam? Like, like first Iltharen stays behind, then you get Gwen breaks off to fight Asencia. Murph has to stay behind to let Dal get and climb up and
Murph fights General Grievous. I was actually expecting at some point Jake and Pog, he was like worried about climbing. I'm thinking, mate, you got a prosthetic arm. I'm sure it can shoot out like fucking Scorpion's hook. Yeah, and instead of climbing, what you have to do is like rappel upwards, and you're good. But no, that never happened. I'm sure you can do that.
You probably, if he modified his appendage to do that, probably, but it probably doesn't have the ability to do that.
Well, not yet. But if he could add that and then do a callback, it's like. Yeah.
And then when they mentioned like the stairs and like 20 stories, I thought, oh yeah, I know how that feels. I mean, after going like 3 or 4 stories, I'm already fucking baiting breath, let alone 20. Jesus Christ. Just how far can Gwen and Sentia fall without taking damage?
They're master chef.
Yeah. And they got
float materia, so they don't actually hit the ground.
We never saw her father turn heel, though, did we?
Hermes.
No.
Yeah, we didn't see the dad turn into the diviner, which I really thought was going to happen. I mean, it can still happen. It was 52 years in the future. you know, the events of Prodigy are like the Protostar going in the future is like 52 years or whatever. So,
Well, but things would have to go really south for him to have a motivation to
yeah,
become
but that's
the
what I'm just
diviner.
saying is like,
There is time, though. I see what you're saying, but I think they were kind of sweeping that under the rug, or getting, when she said to Gwen, temporal mechanics, the Solon that I knew, it was never come back. Hers, or that hers already died, something to that extent.
yeah, and I mean that's fine. I'm just saying, like, I just thought we would see that, at least the rumblings of that heel turn toward, like in the season finale. Not it's something that they would address like even this season or next season, but like they can start to see the gears turn where he's like, maybe the Federation, like after I've done all this for the Federation, maybe they're not as good as I thought they were. Like that, just that little hint that there might be the diviner still in, like, coming. I just think it would have made it a good self-fulfilling prophecy at that point,
And goody essentially, like they need to keep tabs on her so she don't fucking turn evil. But maybe by keeping tabs on her, she does turn evil. Who knows? Like,
yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, did Dal turn over the chair because he looked into his own data stream? It's that thing. Did he only do it because he got the idea from that?
I'm pretty sure Wesley knew he needed to see that. And so it is kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, but Wesley knew he needed to see that to do that, because that was probably one of like what was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? Like with the best outcome.
Yeah.
I mean, regarding Wesley, he mentioned that it doesn't matter if there's a little change in time here and there, as long as the main shit stays the same. But from what I've learned regarding time travel, a little change, a little variance here and there has significant. Yeah, it's significant, if you know what I mean. Like if you turn left instead of going right, that can change a whole fucking outcome for how things turn out to be. So I don't think there's such a thing as like a small change in time.
Well, but they also said that time usually tries to correct itself. Like it just depends on how you look at like time travel, and because they say that like time is like a river, and like you can put like a little like you can put like a log by the river to kind of split off some water, but then the water eventually just rolls right back into the stream. So time, even though you put like a major obstacle in front, it still finds its way back. It just depends on, as I said, it could be bullshit, it could be it could be true. Like it just we don't know. It's all
I agree to that. It's like the Flashpoint paradox, where even though he changed time, things readjusted itself, and then eventually obviously Thomas Wayne becomes Batman and Martha becomes the Joker. They still have the same sort of shit, but with different people playing it,
that's kind of what I mean. Is like it does have a way of correcting itself even with different people. Like just because, and let's just say just because now he's not the diviner, who's to say someone else doesn't be, maybe Essentia becomes a diviner then, in the future, like maybe Jacob Pog becomes a diviner. No, I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like
I like the fact that when Dal was climbing up the ladder and Jenkins was saying, don't, be careful, you'll fall to your death or something like that. And then Dal says, don't
forget you said that.
Yeah, and Dal says, I don't want you telling me that, or I'll forget you said that, or something like that. And Jenkins saying, well, it's true. Like he tried to reassure him by saying it's true, but he's not reassuring him because he's scaring him even more. It's just so funny. But Jenkins is unaware of these things.
Yeah, he's just so oblivious to it. He just says whatever he's thinking.
Hey, everybody needs a Jacob Pog in their life. I am a firm believer in somebody who tells it like it is and is not afraid to ruffle some feathers just to get the truth out there.
Yeah, that's
why we have Ginger.
Scarlet's Fire.
Oh yeah. I don't have a Scarlet's Fire. My Scarlet's Fire is Ginger.
There you go. I mean, let's see here. Do we want to talk about the Gwen versus Essentia fight? Do you guys have any thoughts or feelings?
I mean, I don't have any thoughts on it.
No,
I mean, it was a serviceable fight scene.
It's
I knew she would get her I don't know, her chocolate ring back, or whatever the fuck that thing is. That squiggly thing. I knew she'd get that back.
I thought she had it all the time because I thought that's what was on her uniform. Like
No, Essentia took it off her.
I remember that she took it, but I didn't know that she kept it, and I just kind of forgot. Like when I didn't see it as much, and I just thought she had her own. Like Essentia had her own.
Well, she had one of her own to begin with, and then she stole Gwen's airline.
And it merged with hers. Yeah. And so
then she became a Super Saiyan. Or Ultra
yeah,
Instinct?
exactly. And I knew she would eventually get it back. But that Rise of Skywalker scene at the end where they all merge together and give her their power, and she was able to defeat Essentia. Yeah. And then Essentia finally realizes, with the wormhole, goes, "What have I done?" I mean, oh my God.
I hate that because it's just like, you knew what you were doing. Like, like you don't just realize, like maybe down the line you realize that, like, what have I, like, and then it becomes like apologetic, but it's like in the moment, it's like maybe like when people start getting phased out and she's like, then maybe she's like, what have I done? But it's like, you knew what you were doing. You know what I mean? Like you knew this was happening.
She was
not
just
try
bragging
at all to prevent this.
She was just bragging about how she was going to bend the whole planet to her will. And
yeah, she didn't. Yeah, exactly. Like everyone was like saying we want to, align ourselves with Starfleet, and she goes, "Fuck these people! I'm gonna fuck them all." Like she didn't give a shit. I mean, what the hell? Crazy. It was only when she was defeated that she realized that she had no control, that she started to care.
No, but eventually the Loom do come out and start pouring out of the wormhole, attack Solom and everything.
Yep, that's the Matrix reference we got right there.
Oh yeah. How about the Janeway reference when she's once more into the breach?
Yeah, and she can do this all day. Remember that one too?
Did she say I can do this all day?
Yeah,
I must have missed that one.
She did the Captain America reference. I can do this all day.
I must have missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when she was shooting lasers and torpedoes at the Essentia ship. I actually thought at one point we were going to get Starfleet attacking the ship from both sides of the wormhole, but that never happened.
That is another issue that I have is they literally opened a portal at Earth. So I get it. They are on the outskirts beyond the Federation. They are way out here. You open a portal at Earth and you still don't have an Earth defense fleet. Like, even if it's like smaller vessels, like, like you don't have any solar system defenses or anything like that. Like, I forgot about that. I'm glad you said it because it bugged me, because I'm like, there should have been at least a couple ships on the other side, at the very least in space stock.
I expected Earth, the planet itself, to have some sort of defense where it's shooting lasers out of the planet as well. No,
I think Earth. I think Earth has Does Earth have a planetary shield? I know they have it in Discovery in the 32nd century.
Yeah,
but I don't. Did they have it in like?
I'm not sure actually. Maybe
next
you're
gen
right. Maybe
DS9 time.
Yeah,
I remember them talking about a planetary grid, but I don't know if that was like defense.
I think that's a laser turret grid.
Yeah, like a defense like a phaser turret or something like that in orbit. Like with Deep Space Nine, when they were attacking Cardassian colonies, they had all the defense posts, all over. But still, like, they opened literally to the heart of the Federation. You cannot tell me that there is not at least 5 starships on the other side of that wormhole that could have came through and helped.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the starships could not get to where they're at Solom because it's too far. But like, they literally have a wormhole right there that they could go through. Like, blow up the one that's going to Earth and then fly through. And I did like the fact that that it was kind of the Protostar and Voyager on their own, because it gave it that tension. Like, will they? I knew they were going to make it, but you know what I mean. Like, but it just, I don't know. It just destroyed a lot of the tension for me.
Daniel Vance says Alien, Star Wars, Doctor Who. They reference so many other properties this season, most owned by Disney. Yeah, you're right. They did. as well as the Matrix as well. They did. I'm not sure about Aliens. I'm trying to pick up where it was. If you're talking about the entire season, I'm sure there was an Aliens reference at some point. Pretty sure there was. So you did mention Matrix.
I think I heard Jacob Pog saying "Game over, man! Game over." That's like my favorite line of like all the. I know it's stupid, but it's just like it's one of my favorite lines from the Aliens movies.
Yeah.
Mage, will you get us back on track? Will you stop letting your co-host just derail this whole thing?
I'm not skilled enough to do that. Why did you guys? Okay. Right. Janeway fighting the loom was the Aliens reference. Get away from here.
Oh, really? Okay. If anything, Janeway's got a bit of Ellen Ripley about her at times, especially when she gets into her vest.
Yeah, action Janeway vest. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Ellen Ripley for you for sure.
Very much so. I mean, it goes back to the episode with the macrophages.
Mm-hmm.
Go all the way back to that. No, what did you guys think about the needless flashback montage? Like, think into that recap.
I think it was just
like
a reminder.
The Happy Time one.
Which one was that? Thanks for the memories, and then right before they sent the Protostar.
Oh, yeah, it was a bit much. I didn't really think about it, but like I agree, it was a bit much.
So the comm badge dial fan was left by him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think you're gonna do poo-poo. You get right in there. Yeah. Those paradoxes always make me laugh. You know, you leave yourself a message for yourself to pick up earlier on, even. You know, it's fair enough, but it was a nice moment just to remind you how everything pieced together. Because I'll be honest with you, time travel can be very complex, and I think this is one of the most complex series when it came to letting you know how time travel works in various ways.
This was Doctor Who level of, and I can see where they took a lot of their credence from, or a lot of their mentality from Doctor Who. Like, and that's great. Like, as I said, I think it helped a lot with the storytelling in this season for them to do that. You know, like
yeah, and you know, because of what's his face being Doctor Who, Wesley Crusher. In a way, I would have liked to have seen Wesley Crusher be a bit more Starfleet, just through maybe be in a chair of any chair of some sort and just help out, you know, as a Starfleet officer. That would have been a nice callback. I'm not saying he has to change his uniform or anything like that, but just remind.
I think he needs to get back to doing the traveler thing. I think he served his purpose in this season very well, and everything is kind of bookend. You know, with him seeing his mom at the end and also seeing Jack for the first time. Well, Jack for the first time and his mom.
Jack was a baby. Time. He wasn't even a young kid. I mean, wow. So Jack, you know, this is a good 20 years or so before Picard season 3.
We were saying last week is I think we said that with the dates it was, what did we say it was? 23 years or something like that? I don't remember. It was like 23 years, but from the end of season 2 of Prodigy to the season 3 of Picard.
Yeah. Which is nice. Whether we get to see Wesley again, who knows?
I hope we do. I do like what they're building here with Wesley, and he deserves it. He is a good he's a good person. You know what I mean? Like he is like us. Like just loves Trek, loves what it represents, loves what it does, you know, and he's a good actor. You know what I mean? Like he.
Oh yeah, Will Wheaton crushed it. He was
even vocals.
Yeah, the voice acting. He did the best job out of all of the legacy characters, to my mind. But
actually, yeah, in season 2 of Picard, this was post this series. So he's already met his brother. He's gone back to being a Time Lord again, or what the fuck he is.
So, in season 2 of Picard, yes, he was. Yeah, that was post him meeting his brother. I just hope they do something with it. I wouldn't mind seeing what's her face come back. The Data's daughter. I don't remember her name. Not Leanne. What La'an is? on Strange New Worlds. I don't remember her name, but you know, I wouldn't mind seeing her and him, seeing this thing that they're building, and make a time travel show. Make a show that shows us all the major events of Star Trek history, you know, that we've never seen. Maybe.
Oh, I would love, honestly, I really would love to see him in the Starfleet Academy show, and if the Doctor is obviously in that show, and the Doctor and Wesley have met each other now in Prodigy, it would be really good to see them two unite again. Yeah. And if they acknowledge that, it would be great to see Wesley in the Starfleet Academy show. I mean, that's a good place. Not for every episode, just like you know, definitely for a one-off or as a reoccurring character here and there. I mean, that would be good.
Yeah, you could make him like Q, like just shows up once a season, like not Q as in the sense of the
yeah, I know what you mean, but a reoccurring character,
but a reoccurring character that's kind of got all this power, and you know, they can't tell if he's actually helping or not, but you know, like not that he's doing anything bad, but he's like, you know, they ask him, hey, can you do this? And he's like, well, no, that's not my place. You know, like he's not there to help them. He's there like for a specific reason, and he can't go outside of that. You know, so I think that would be good, whether it be in Starfleet Academy, whether it be in other like Strange New Worlds and other shows. I just think he would be a great like Q type character. And as I said, Will Wheaton, in my opinion, he deserves it. He deserves that pedestal. Not that he puts himself on, but that we put him on, about being that character that's like the Samuel L. Jackson of Star Trek, in my opinion.
Really?
That crossover character that's just a part of everything because he can do it. He can time travel.
The Nick Fury of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
The what?
The Nick Fury of Star Trek.
Oh yeah, the Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury. They're the same person. We all know this.
Yeah, but I wasn't really getting what the reference is.
Sorry,
I get it now.
Yeah. Nick Fury of Star Trek. Yes.
Yeah, fair. And who knows? You know, if he establishes himself well enough, then maybe he could end up getting his own show. You know?
That's what I'm saying. I would love a Crusher show. You know, called like call Time Lords, and just you know.
and that's where you get the Doctor Who in and all of that. Who knows?
Traveler Variance Authority.
Oh no, the Traveler Variance Authority. I love it. Did you steal that or did you make that up? Because if you made that up
on the spot right now,
you need to make that. Then you need to like make a graphic or something with that on. That is good. I like it. Share that out.
Stop eating me. Stop eating me, for fuck's sake.
Mage, what have I told you? Keep your co-hosts in line.
I was just about to make a joke. I was like, okay, at least I'm not the only one whose pets try to eat him.
Yeah, she's like proper biting my thumbs.
Mine's
Riker's
like
good boy. He's just passed out. Riker's best boy.
My dog is just passed out. He's, you know, he doesn't care.
I like being a dog uncle to Riker. It's just like, yes, I can love Riker from afar. It's like I don't have a dog or dog responsibilities anymore. But
likewise.
Okay. The Federation deciding to turtle after the events at Utopia Planitia. And Janeway just kind of
I'm gonna go to my farm.
Yeah,
everyone goes to their farm, don't they? Everyone goes to a fucking farm when they retire.
She's been talking it up, yeah.
But I don't understand the retire. Like I
didn't think it was gonna stick at all.
That and the other thing is like early retirement. I'm like, really? Like she's only been home for what 7 years? You know, like.
But why does every character in Starfleet wants to live in some rural area in the fucking woods somewhere? Like, why don't one of them want to live in some massive metropolis? You know, it's always the same fucking shit.
I mean, you're right, but Cisco changed it up. He wanted to live on a cottage in Bajor. You know, like so. At least it's not like on Earth, like everybody else.
No, but it's still the same shit because Michael Burnham ended up living in the stick somewhere. So did Picard. He Chateau Picard. Even what's his face when we saw him in the Nexus. Kirk. And now with Janeway, like why doesn't somebody want to live in the fucking massive metropolis
I
or
think they're
something like
taking the whole putting old admirals out to pasture a little too literally.
that. Yeah, I guess so. Like, I personally like. I mean, even as I get older, as much as I love and hate my city, the idea of living in the sticks somewhere, it repulses me. It repulses. I don't mind it. It's all good to stay out in the wilderness now and again, but to permanently live there with no amenities nearby, no, that
I
scares the
agree.
fuck out of me.
I'm a city boy, just like you. Like I when people talk about moving out into the country-ish areas, I'm like, so what happens like if you need to like, you go to get murdered? Like at my house, like literally I've got neighbor on both sides that can hear me. In the sticks, they won't find you for a couple days.
Exactly.
Like
Look, this is a bad analogy as well. Like where I live, within a 5 mile radius, I could probably get to maybe 7 or 8 different McDonald's within a 5 mile. And that's a terrible analogy. I know.
I would
Okay.
say now we know what
$7 or
Zam means
$8
by
Generals.
amenities.
You
But
need some
I remember,
McDonald's.
I remember
I need
when,
my nuggies.
I remember when an area called Uckfield, which is outside of London, and we drove 25 miles to get to the nearest fucking McDonald's. Fuck that. Fuck living in an area like that with only one kebab shop in the fucking village. Like that's the only kebab shop you can go to. There's no variety. The amount of kebab shops I have around me is unbelievable. I mean, there's more fucking Turks around me than fucking Turkey itself. Like it's unbelievable. I got choice. There's so many different restaurants. I don't even live in central London. I live in northwest London. I live in not outer London, but I still live in London, but I don't live in central London. I still have so much fucking variety, so much. It's unbelievable.
No, cities are pretty awesome. I miss living in a city.
Yeah.
All right, you guys got any more notes? I'm going to start throwing the poll up. We're kind of.
I've got nothing. We've already discussed the stuff that happened at the very, very end. So
what do you guys? My question is going to be: what do you guys think about? What do you think is going to happen next season? I know they're going to be on their ensign tour or whatever you want to call it, but what do you think the overarching thing is going to be? Do you think it's going to be more? Do you think it's going to be more episodic next season, or do you think it's going to be more of an overarching narrative like this season?
I think they'll probably try to do both. They'll try to have bottle episodes in the middle of the overarching narrative to serve as kind of buffer or filler, if you will.
Yeah, and sometimes like these like episodic episodes, it's still self-contained enough that I said there's elements within it that seep out into the overall narrative, but what we get in that one episode feels like a self-contained episode as well, if you know what I mean. That's the sort of way things are being done now. Whether anything connects to the synth war or not, I'm not so sure. It would be nice to see them being explorers as well. That would be good.
But see, that's the weird thing is like, why would you send a completely green? And I know they're not green because they've got experience with the coming from the Delta Quadrant back. But like, why would you send like a crew of ensigns to your unexplored area? Like, it just makes I know that they're stretched thin, but it's just like, it just doesn't make any sense to me why you would send out such green people that are not familiar with Starfleet as much to the edge of the frontier where you really should have some of your more experienced explorers.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
and their kids as well. And like I said, they really do need somebody of experience to be in that ship. I'll tell you what, if they could just give us a little bit of what makes Beverly Crusher into an outlaw, which we end up finding out later on, that would be good too. What maybe leads her down that path, that would be great. I wouldn't mind a bit of that.
No, I'm enjoying the use of the legacy characters, so I hope they continue to do that. And this filling in of the lore.
Yeah,
Animation's a way to do it.
Don't have to worry about so much effects for de-aging.
Yeah, and I mean with Will Wheaton, the great thing about Will Wheaton is that he looks good. So it's like he can do live action and animation. He's proven he can do both.
Yeah, for sure. Daniel Moss also thinks overarching they won't change the formula of this for the series.
Yeah.
I think so too. I wouldn't mind if they shorten it though, 20 episodes. Like it's because you almost get like they could have made this 4 seasons already. You know, like the first 10 episodes would have been getting Chakotay back, and they got him back by the end, and there he is at the very end, him and Janeway together and all of that shit. And then they could have started the second season with the time travel problem and all of that, and the Sensia and all of that shit. You know, I think 20 episodes.
I think you definitely could have shaven like 4 episodes out of this season and been okay. Like I agree with you. I don't know if I would have 10 episodes would have done the story, but yeah, if you kind of split, if you're right, if you kind of split it, like the first 10 episodes, they more focus on getting Chakotay back and less on the time travel aspect. And then the next 10 episodes is like just the Solom and Essentia stuff, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then if that's the case, then make every episode a bit longer, like 30-minute episodes. That would have been a bit more satisfactory. But sometimes I think the editing and the pacing sometimes is you can really see it's just not good at times when the way they do things, when they stitch things together, and maybe with a bit more time, a bit more breathing room, it could be a better, more palatable product. And so I'm happy to shave a few episodes off to give more episodes more time. I'm happy for that compromise. 16 episodes with 30-minute episodes apiece.
You lose so much of the episode to the intro, recap, end credits. Yeah. These episodes are really just like kind of 18 minutes of actual new content per episode. So you've got good points there, Zam.
She is so fucking feisty today. What is up, girl?
Oh, it's getting spicy. And spicy.
Spicy chicken today.
Look at that. She's chew on my fucking finger, why don't you? Chew on it.
Wow, man, she is
looks like Vivi.
Yeah. Man, they got vice-like grips, these little fuckers. Oh, what's wrong with her? Maybe I'll put some food in their bowl after this, who knows? Maybe she'll eat on that and chew on that instead of my fucking hand.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So, want to do marks, gentlemen?
Yeah.
We'll start with you then, Sam.
Are we marking the series and then the episode and then the series? Is that how we're doing it?
We can if you'd like to.
Yes, please. I'll give we'll come back round to me regarding the series, but for these episodes, I'll give episode 19 because I thought it ended really well. I thought Murph was really good as well. We never brought him. I genuinely thought they killed him off at one particular point after he killed Grievous, or a version of Grievous.
I knew they weren't killing him off. I thought he was going to get wings. I thought he was going to, because at the end of the first season he evolved. I thought at the end of this season he was also going to evolve and get like wings or something. Who knows? I
thought the evolution. By the way, Terminator reference when he put the skull out and the eyes were red eyes and they died. That's definitely a Terminator reference, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, I mean it's very. I see where you're going with it.
I'll give episode 19. Sorry, I think episode 19 I'll give an 8, and episode 20 I would also give an 8. I think they both ended really well. Yeah, it was nice, and I'm already looking forward to more. And it was really good to see them in uniforms as well, like with colors that define who they are, and all of that. It's interesting, and they're on the Protostar now. They made sure that they mentioned the Protostar is not a battleship, just an exploration ship, because they are a bunch of kids. All of that, I get it. So nice. It's good to see Janeway become a commander and all of that holographic one. Yeah, and the tie-ins as well. Yeah, it was good stuff. Both of them get an 8 for me.
Excellent, Cheeto.
I'm gonna rank them together because it's a two-parter. So I kind of take it as one story part, like one story, because there wasn't much of a gap here, So I'm giving Oroboros a 8. I thought it wrapped everything up really nicely. There was, as I said at the end, there was some stuff, and as I said, the one thing that really took me out of the episode was when they were portaling to Earth and there was literally nothing on the other side. I thought that was very unpractical, and I thought it just didn't work for me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't care how fucking thin Starfleet's fleet is. There should be something on Earth.
Yeah,
around Earth.
There should definitely be stuff around Earth because it looked barren. And on top of that, like, there's supposed to be cities across the moon. Like, I know they haven't terraformed the moon, but there's still like cities because they talk about
New
the
Berlin.
Cities. Yeah, New Berlin and stuff like
Lake
that.
Lake Armstrong. I remember.
Yeah, Lake
that.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
Like, so the moon just looking like the moon is not exactly accurate. So I kind of hate the fact that they've done that before. That's not just Prodigy, but anyway. But there were just a lot of nitpicky things that I picked out that kind of was like, ooh, that really does not sit well with me. But overall, as I said, I'm giving it an 8. Wrapped everything up beautifully. Great character development. They didn't backwalk on Dal's character development. I'm so happy about that. No Daniel Vance. I would not say that Prodigy is greater than Lower Decks. That is not true. Prodigy took a huge step in the right direction though this season, but I would still say Prodigy is still not as good as the worst season of Lower Decks. So, and there's no bad seasons of Lower Decks in my opinion. So anyway,
no.
Did you say we're doing season overall marks or?
Yeah, it's season. Okay, let Mage mark the episodes first.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
We'll circle back around. I'm gonna also give Oroboros an 8 for the same reasons you gentlemen just listed. I almost gave it a 7 just because of things happening kind of fast at points, but I enjoyed it. There was good television pacing, just entertaining TV. So give it an 8. Wrapped it up very nicely. All right, Sam. Thoughts about the season overall and a score for it?
Well, this episode at some points almost made me want to cry with tears of joy. I had that tears of joy. I'm so happy. This is so great. This is so Star Trek. And that's a good thing. So I give season 2 a 9 out of 10. I thought
9 out of 10. Very nice.
Yeah, I think it was a very enjoyable season. I thought we got great progress with the characters. I thought we got good crossover connections with other stuff that's happened in Star Trek, which was good to see. It didn't feel alienated in that particular sense. It was just, and even though we have a lot of new characters, we have a lot of returning characters, and this feels like the 4th show after of that trilogy of shows of TNG, DS9, and Voyager. Now this one feels like the 4th one, to a degree, because there's so many returning characters from the previous shows. So I'm liking that too, because I like that timeline. Everything there's more connection because of that period than there is in any other part of Star Trek.
Yeah, and I wouldn't consider like Lower Decks a part of that, only because it's more parody than anything else. As I said, I agree with you. I think Prodigy is a good 4th. I mean, it's definitely the sequel to Voyager, but it does kind of feel like the natural progression of, especially season 2, feels like the natural progression of Star Trek post Voyager. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's filling in the gaps of and all that stuff that gets mentioned in the shows after the time skip. Kind of. And I appreciate that they're doing that.
Yeah. For sure. Major was the VIP for me this season. I thought she was a wonderful addition.
I don't feel like she did much in these last 2 episodes though, right? Am I forgetting something? Or
no, but I know where he's coming from. Like she was just a nice addition without feeling like she's taking over from anybody. She was just there, and she added a different vibe regarding all the characters that we got. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good addition to the crew, as it were, both figurative and literal.
My turn.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. I echo everything that Zam said pretty much, except for the crying tears. I mean, I thought it was good, like it was excellent, but I think the season has done a really, really good job. And as I said, from Prodigy season 1 being my least favorite Trek out of, I can't, like, out of all the series, I can't say individual seasons, because I would say Discovery and Picard early seasons kind of hold some of those places, but Prodigy season 1 was down there with me. They've really upped it in this season, and they did a fantastic job at proving me wrong. From last season where I said, I'm not into this. I just don't. I'm not saying it's not Star Trek, but it's not for me. And they kind of turned that on its head, and this is really good Trek this season. So I'm very glad to be wrong this season.
Well, it took a long time for season 1 to feel like Star Trek from the early episodes, because it was like this slave planet, or it felt more like Clone Wars, as we were mentioning, I believe, when we were reviewing that. So now it's got his Trek boots on and all of that. Like everything feels like Trek now. Everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this season as a whole. I think I've pretty much been very consistent with some lower numbers here or there, like a 7 or a 6. But I'm going to give it overall. I'm going to give it an 8. I think that it really has, like, because I think I gave Prodigy season 1 like a 6. So I really feel like this thing is maybe even a 4. I don't even remember. I'd have to go back and look, even if we did a review of the season. But it's really turned me on my head, on my thinking on this show, and I'm very glad. And I'm not even a big Janeway fan. It's not like them bringing the doc, or a Voyager fan. It's not like them bringing Chakotay and the Doctor in was like, oh my god. Like, I wasn't a huge Voyager fan either. This show this show proved to me that it can be good Trek. You know what I mean? Like, so good for them. Keep doing what they're doing. And as I said, I don't exactly like where they left things with the whole Ensign Cruz, USS Prodigy at the end, like what, them going off on their own. I don't like it, but this show has earned the grace for me to be like, let's see where they go with this.
Yeah.
Excellent. As for me, I'm also going to give the season an 8. I enjoyed it. At times I felt like maybe it was a bit convoluted, but they tied it up in such a neat way and made all the time travel make sense. And that's hard to do. It's hard to pull off a time travel plot and make it actually follow and make sense and not be done in a stupid way. So, and
Yep.
I feel like it's an improvement over the first season. I enjoyed the first season, but this is still an improvement and still feels more like Star Trek. So solid 8. Solid 8.
What is that noise?
I think it's Leanne.
I don't
sorry, I
hear-
apologize. Sorry.
I don't hear anything.
Okay. I just want to also add that Protostar is not a tiny little ship. It's a big ship. We've seen it alongside Voyager. Regarding size, and Voyager holds hundreds of people. The fact that you got 7, 8, or 8 people, a skeleton crew. Let's be sure that's what it is. Being in charge of this entire ship, I think, is ridiculous. You need more people on the Protostar. All right, I guess I know they made it run on its own because they had no choice, but now the choice is there. There should be a few more people on the Protostar than just the people on board the bridge. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I think there should be, as I said, I think there should be I don't want to say a seasoned crew, but like somebody there that is not a hologram, that is of somebody who can teach them, because really they are cadets with field commissions of ensign. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah.
I know they're experienced to a degree, but you're right. They need to Yeah, and I just feel like there should be like maybe 2 or 3 people in engineering and stuff like that. And they need somebody. They need a medical guy there. I know they're gonna. I'm sure Zero will play that person, but still, it's not enough. They need a proper doctor, not
Well,
an
I
EMH.
thought it was odd at the end when, like when Zero was at, I don't know if she was at con or what, but like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, why? Like, why is Zero at the con? Like, why wouldn't, because I think Majel was sitting in one of the front
They all were. I mean,
consoles. Zero was over here, but I'm like, why wouldn't Dal just be in like the con? I think Zero maybe might have been an ops, but still, I don't understand. I thought they were building her towards a medical role, and that's why I was like, okay, so she'll be in the medical bay or so, or at least at the medical station on bridge or something.
this is the thing. Well, this is where you have to understand what you want to prioritize. Sending out a bunch of young cadets with no experience. Sorry, not experience, but with no leadership. Actually, experience it does play a part because we're talking years of experience than just being in a couple of seasons of a show. Do you want to send them out, as a skeleton crew into space, or do you want to maybe put a few more recognized people around them for them to learn off? That's just my opinion. And
it seems like a good way to get these children unalived.
Yeah,
right.
And have like different elements or different parts of the ship that need attending to. Everyone's on the fucking bridge. Rok-tauk doesn't need to be on the bridge. He needs to be down in engineering.
I mean, technically, I think she's technically science, which, I mean, you're right. Like it's kind of like Discovery. It's kind of like Discovery where it's like, like you have more scientists in engineering than engineers in engineering, probably because of the Protostar drive. But yeah, like Jankum is definitely the engineer, and then rok-tauk is like the science. So yeah,
they can mix up, together. Yeah. I mean, they can both work off each other.
I think it'd be hilarious having Jankum and rok-tauk in engineering together. I think they'd make a great pair of just like bouncing off each other.
You need somebody in medical and whatever other
would be Zero, but now they've got Zero on the bridge instead.
And I think honestly that'll change next season. I think they just did all that, like put people where they were for the wide shot at the end. You know what I mean? Like they wanted it to look good for the wide shot. So they wanted everybody on the bridge. Now you could have just done this whole like, all stations report in, and then you go medical bay standing by, engineering standing by, science. Like you could have done something like that, then done the wide shot, just to show where everybody is. But I think they just did the wide shot with everybody on the bridge because.
And because execs like to see that kind of crap.
I remember, like in TNG and Voyager, you would have like people who do the night shift, whatever the fuck that means in Star Trek. But yeah, you have that as well. Where you have like people just maintaining the ship. I mean, if they're all on the bridge, then who's maintaining the ship? When they're sleeping.
That's what Janeway's for. The ECH comes online when they go to bed.
Good point.
Okay. We wrapping up?
I've got nothing else. Yeah.
All right. Just one more thing I want to add for me is we are going to be starting the Highly Illogical podcast again starting next week. I mean, unless we decide to take a week off maybe in between, but we'll be doing that until Lower Decks comes out in October, I believe is when Lower Decks returns.
I don't know, yeah.
So just a preview really quick, just a couple of the ideas that I have for topics for the Highly Illogical podcast is going to be what would you make first in a replicator? So we can kind of dive into that whole can of worms. We know what I would make first. Star Trek games you'd love to remake if you had like any license to redo any game. Least favorite and favorite episodes of Star Trek. Those are kind of basic, like every but I don't think we've actually really talked specifically like what are our favorite episodes. Like in general. What department would you like to work on a starship? Like, so where would you and what would you like specifics? Like we can dive into the discussion on what you would do and what you like to do about it. And then the other idea I have is characters that should never return, like characters that are alive in Trek, and have never been seen again, but should never return. So those are kind of some of the topics. I know you guys, we kind of get our thinking caps on and figure out what we want to do. I will be inviting back our some of our other co-hosts, like we did before. Hopefully, maybe we can get Jefferson on, and Adam and Lord Donkey will probably be back on. Obviously, he's been here with us with the reviews. Just try to have some guests on, to kind of discuss and broaden our horizon and such. And yes, and also tomorrow, me and Zam are talking about Tom Bombadil. We have not seen the episode yet, but I've already seen thumbnail spoilers that Tom Bombadil is in the episode. Somebody was posting reviews of it and had Tom Bombadil in the poster, so I'm assuming that he's in the episode. So, anyway, back to you, Mage.
No, you pretty much. I've got nothing. You plugged what we needed to plug. I should just remind people that maybe they should subscribe because they've been watching NerdTube. But I want to thank you guys. I want to thank the audience. Most importantly, until next time, take care and thanks for watching. You've been watching NerdTube in case you forgot the name.